Please make sure you have lined paper for today's responses to the lecture. I will ask you to reflect on these notes and post your notes through Teams as an assignment. Many of you selected this class because of your interest in psychology, the study of human behavior and the mind. The foundation of psychology, though, is philosophy, and philosophy is rooted in questions. Some of the first known philosophers were Socrates and his student Plato. They asked questions about our existence and what it meant to know who you are. Socrates said the famous words, "Know thyself." So that's exactly what we're going to do. That's where we will begin. Who are you? All right. Are you your name? If someone else has your name, are you less you? Are they also you? No. If someone gives you a nickname, are you somehow different? The famous playwright William Shakespeare explores the relationship between name, body, and self in his play Romeo and Juliet. Juliet contemplates the importance of Romeo's last name. Montague is not hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called. Act 2, Scene 2. She argues that his name is the only reason they can't be together, and that who he is has nothing to do with his name. Is Shakespeare suggesting that we are our body? If we are our body, then our self is contained within our body, our flesh. Others disagree. You can see how what you believe may affect your answers. Are you also what you believe? What do you think? Where is the self? Point to it and keep your finger there. Look around. Where's everyone pointing? I'm guessing some are pointing to their chest. Why? Some might be pointing to their heads. Why? Take a moment and explain to those around you why you pointed where you did. If you are watching this at home, just journal about it. Is the self, or you, inside your body? Are you your body itself? Beyond it? What do you believe happens after you die? Is your soul, or as some say, yourself? Is it energy, as others describe? Are you an illusion created by the brain? Is any of this real? I know people are asking that question in 2020. Is it a dream? Are we us when we dream? Or are you your personality? But if your personality shifts, are you still you? If you have an accident and have brain trauma, are you still you? If people say you aren't acting like you, what does that mean? If you change a lot as a person over the years, are you still you? Think back to 5th or 6th grade. Are you the same person? What stayed the same? Is who we are a fluid thing or a static thing? We wake up each morning the same person. Even though I read a good book where the main character wakes up in a different body every day, that book's called Every Day. Is there even a right answer? Are you what you think you are? Are you what others say you are? Are you what you think others think you are? I'll say that last one again. Are you what you think others think you are? Let's do a quick experiment. I want you to take a moment and I want you to tell everybody in class what you see on this piece of paper. Go ahead. What do you see? What if I told you that what I see is not what I see? Would you disagree? Would you tell me that I'm wrong? What if I told you that you were wrong? What if we fought endlessly over it? Could you consider my truth? My perspective? Remember, what do you see? Now you see what I see. What does that make you realize? If this notebook paper represents my truth, what does that mean? Please take a few minutes and respond in writing to this concept. let's continue this conversation. Let's try something. I want you to take a moment and I want you to think of a triangle. That's right, a triangle. Go ahead, got it? Now, on the count of 3, you're going to tell us what color it is. 1, 2, 3. Purple. Well, why did one of you maybe see a blue triangle or a green triangle? And what accounts for that? As a side note, did you know that your brain can't separate shape from color? Go ahead, think of a color. What shape is it? Say it. All right. Cool, right? All right. Well, does that mean you are in part what you see? Is who you are a product of your experiences? But what happens when you experience something? How do you know you're experiencing it? You use your senses, right? You trust what you see, hear, smell, taste, and those inputs become experiences. And if they are worth it, they convert to memory. You were using your senses when you walked into the room you're in, right? Well, close your eyes and remember when you walked in. I'll give you a few seconds to recall the experience and pay attention to what you're seeing in your mind. All right, got the visual? How many of you are now watching yourself in third person, like you're watching a movie? Why is that? Is that what you see? You weren't looking through your eyes that direction. Are you watching you? You didn't see yourself walk in like that, from above. But it happened to you. You walked in and here you are. You saw things. You heard things. But maybe you just weren't conscious about your experience. Much like when you passed 2 exits on the freeway and you were thinking about something else. So where were you if you weren't there? In your mind? You navigated okay. Your body and mind seemed to keep you safe and you likely interacted in your environment. Sometimes we're consciously aware of ourselves and our experiences. We recall with vivid sensory detail what we experience. Other times, we sit passively and are more reactive to our environment. If our experiences and memories shape who we are, and those experiences and memories in part shape our personalities, then our senses must be pretty important. But can you trust them? Let's watch a quick video about what we hear. Here's a quick video that includes something called the McGurk effect. And if you are looking on YouTube, just enter, "Can you trust your ears? Audio illusions." Let's think about our vision and how we appear to ourselves and to others. Are you who you are because of your appearance? People do often identify us by our looks. We recognize one another and say, "Hey, it's you." In my group of friends, I'm often the short one with crazy hair. But if I change my hair color or cut it, I'm still me. If I cut my fingernails, I don't lose a part of myself. Is there a most authentic visual me? Am I my most authentic self when I look the way I want to? I think of all the times I've looked in the mirror and realized that I had a different idea of how I looked that day. All too often, I have to remind myself that what I see in the mirror is a reflection, and in different lighting or even on a better mirror, I would look different. Let alone I don't see myself the way that others see me. I can never see myself through someone else's eyes. Think about that. You will never know what your own face looks like, or what you even look like to someone else. I am not my reflection, nor am I a picture of myself. So why should I judge myself based on those trivial visuals? Why does my mood also affect the way I see myself? If I've been nicer to myself in my self-talk, why do I see myself in a more positive way? Let's take a look at an experiment done by Dove. After watching Dove Real Beauty sketches, please take a few minutes and write about how you see yourself visually. Describe what you look like. Now, after doing that, go back and take a look at your word choice. How positive or negative is your diction? Remember, diction is your word choice. Diction creates the tone in your writing. Tone creates a mood. What tone do you think you have towards your appearance? Which words stand out as creating that tone? For fun, ask someone who cares about you to describe the way that you look. Will you accept their characterization of you as truth? Should we be trusting what we see anyway? Watch this next video clip about our vision and how our vision compares with reality. All right, so if our memories are created through our senses during an experience, can you trust your memories? Think of a super happy memory. Were you happy when you were in that moment? Like the movie Inside Out, our feelings may affect the way we remember an event. How much do our feelings affect our memories and personality? How are they all connected? Are we the sum of our experiences, personality, and emotion? This 9-minute video explores the ways some people have attempted to explain the connections between our emotions, experiences, and memories, elements that may contribute to who we are and how we see ourselves. There is undoubtedly a timeless effort to answer some of the basic questions of philosophy. Who are we, and why are we here? On our personal quest to answer those questions, we observe others and ourselves and try to make sense of it all. There are a variety of theories that attempt to explain how our minds work and why we behave the way that we do. Since the human ability to document experiences, people have attempted to share those experiences through art and science. We will explore those efforts in literature, articles, and short films. In this class, it's our focus to see how authors construct characters or other selves. We get to know those characters and through the author's craft, see how they reveal a character to their audience. We must not forget that we too are authors. We write our story every day with the words we choose to attach to our own experiences. We experience our lives through our senses, attempt to convey our emotions using words and art, and often fail at doing so. Anyone who's ever tried to share their perspective knows that experiences are not always communicable. Should we be taking all of this so seriously? We are each the main character in our own storyline. The words we choose to describe experiences act as our narrative, and the word choice affects our stories. Each of us has a biased first-person narrative of our day. We wake up with a running narrative with random breaks for sleep, and then continue the same storyline the next day. We play roles in our own stories, sometimes seeking out situations that allow us to perpetuate those roles. Perhaps you often make yourself the hero of your story, or maybe the victim. Perhaps you vilify people in your life, or make them the hero that always saves the day. And we assign other archetypal roles to others. When we talk to ourselves in our minds, we often develop a narrative, and even a backstory for those people we meet, whether those narratives are reliable or fair or not. How we talk to ourselves often determines how we feel about ourselves and others. Our personal narration and reasoning can affect our choices, actions, and in turn, how we see others and how others see us. We cannot control the way we appear as the roles we play in other people's stories, as we become their side characters. Sometimes we are only in someone's life for a chapter, and other times they are a character intertwined in the story fabric of our lives, popping in and out of the plot at different times. There are times when we might even say we are on the same page, if you will. Either way, these are our stories. We determine the character roles we play and the way we see the characters in our own lives. There are films that address this very idea. Let's take a look at Will Ferrell as he plays the character Harold in the film Stranger Than Fiction. What do you consider when you determine your judgments of others? What you see them do, what you hear from them or about them, feel when you're around them? Characterization happens in much the same way. Actors, authors, and artists alike must make choices in how they will create their characters. Through symbolism, we can often also see deeper meaning and understand the deeper message or themes an author is trying to convey. Our first story is Plato's Allegory of the Cave. There is a link to the story in our team's post. For this story, please consider the symbolism and larger message that is being expressed. Take notes about what you think Socrates was trying to say through these symbols. Start with identifying what the different symbols mean. In a fresh document, recreate the note-taker below. What is the central idea of the text? And in other words, what is the point that Socrates is trying to make? I have provided for you 6 different symbols for you to explore, and I'm going to ask you to explain the deeper meaning as well as support that with reasoning. Please make sure to consolidate all of your journals and notes from today and type them up in Teams and submit those under the self assignment. Thank you.